Hodian Center has been involved in food products for most of its 38 years, but we've been processing food for the last approximately 8 years, making products under the title Papa Pat's Farmhouse Recipes. We've expanded to a point where we needed to have a bigger facility a couple years ago. And so I got involved in a great project to build a food processing facility that became known as the Wisconsin Innovation Kitchen. The Innovation Kitchen has greatly impacted Hodian Center by creating the jobs that our client employees want to perform. We have great people with disabilities that just want an opportunity to show their abilities and to work, to get the paycheck. And for us to be able to create these jobs for approximately 32 people with disabilities at this time is so exciting. And we feel that this can be a possible prototype for other centers with disabilities throughout the state and region. We hope that with our successes that they can be duplicated. I think the uniqueness of the Innovation Kitchen is that the staff that we have that can help lead the persons with disabilities that we have into processing foods. We have, I believe, the only food processing staff on site of other kitchens that might be around in the nation. So we have the availability to take a product that people have and want to have made, and we can process it here with our trained staff and with our many workers with disabilities.
The Innovation Kitchen is evolving in some ways that are new and exciting for everyone involved, and really the whole story is changing in a new way that people hadn't anticipated that think about these things. So the evolution is that these started as what people refer to as an incubator kitchen. It's where you and I would come in and make a product at 11 o'clock at night. It's an okay idea, but it's not transformative. It's not going to change regions. You're going to start a few small businesses. When in fact what happened here, because the Innovation Kitchen is fortunate enough, it's unique in the fact that it's the only incubator kitchen we can find in the United States that has a full-time professional certified food processing staff on site. They're our anchor tenant. They're making their own wonderful farmhouse recipes, product lines, but there's extra capacity. So that became clear that that was a much more valuable asset than any of us had understood initially. So we focused our efforts on the economic development and job creation portion of this, is to go out and find existing small businesses or people who wanted to start new businesses out of their current situation but didn't necessarily have the time or the inclination to come in at 2 o'clock in the morning and make jam. So in this case, you can bring a recipe, bring crops if you're a small farmer, your crops or your recipe, bring it into the kitchen, have it made in small quantities, come out under your label at very affordable prices. That's a direction none of us had really anticipated, but every time we take a step in that direction, we realize that this really is a way to make a big societal impact, and in a way that we can help other folks replicate these across the country. I think the opportunity for the Innovation Kitchen is multifaceted. It is not just following one set of goals here. What we're able to do is create jobs for people with disabilities. We're able to create outlets and new channels for crops and produce that's grown in our region. We're able to tie folks in cities around us to the rural communities and where the food came from. We're able to tie into this multifaceted world where there's 5 channels on TV, all dedicated to food and making food, and invite those new young food entrepreneurs into this world in a safe, legal way that they can start their own businesses from afar. So it isn't just transforming one little county here in southwest Wisconsin. We've got people that are starting new businesses from Seattle, Washington through here, from Arizona, from Chicago, from Milwaukee, all sending their recipes in. We have a process to get that done. Once we're through that process, they can run their own business from wherever they live, from anywhere in the United States. And so the opportunity we see is to learn these lessons, find what works, and more importantly, what doesn't work. That's true intellectual property. And try to build a network of other facilities that we can collaborate with, help train them, help collaborate with them, grow out this network to a much wider opportunity for everybody in the country. We've had remarkable success with a local school program that's emerging all over the country, farm-to-school programs, local foods into local schools, healthy foods into our kids. It's a wonderful goal. It's often hard to do. There's a lack of processing facilities, so often the produce and the fruits and the vegetables have to come from significant distances. They're packed and watered down, they're put in bagged, and then they sit on trucks for several days. What we're able to do is take local produce, vegetables, fruits, from local farms, process them. In this case, it was the La Crosse, Wisconsin school system. So we processed local farms from their region, lightly process them here. They're in the kitchen and out of the kitchen and back into those schools in a day or two. Local foods, now that money is going to circulate and the good nutrition is going to stay in those communities. It's not going to be trucked in from half a continent away. In our case, we're dead set in the middle between Chicago and the Twin Cities. There's 35 million people a half day's drive from here. So initially we're reaching out to both. We've had a terrific network with a group of folks in Chicago, a food hub based in Chicago. This is known as Fresh Taste. They have brought folks up here and said, this is the kind of model we're after. Our large systems, these school systems in Chicago, for instance, it's 400,000 meals a day. They're after local foods, but they're also after food security. It's a big deal. What happens if you can't get these into these big school systems, these big urban communities, 8-10 million people in Chicago? What I've learned from those discussions and what I believe in my heart is that we're all vulnerable to vertically integrated food systems, big vertically integrated food systems, where everything is a command and control system and it's right down the building where everything is owned in the building and all the managers are there and all the workers are there. What I'm learning from this effort to help my friends in Chicago is that they're after a horizontally integrated food system, small plants out in the growing region that then can be connected with a management network, a neural network to put them together. And now we've got the internet to do this. So we can have small distributed plants close to the types of individual ag specialties that we have across this wonderful upper Midwest growing region. The trick for the economic developers is to create the networks of the processing facilities so they can be marketed together, so they can take contracts from these larger urban areas, distribute it among the plants, and then pull it back together. I think that there's a lot of opportunity for both sides of the equation. This isn't just taking money from urban areas and redistributing to rural areas. This is a way for rural areas to make a significant contribution, job-wise, labor-wise, nutrition-wise, into those urban areas and bring those folks to our region to show them how this food is integral to their communities and their environment. So I think the Innovation Kitchen is a perfect fit for this area. It is a beachhead of sorts for a new kind of economic development, one that involves wider circles of our communities that haven't really been looked at as economic engines. So this is a center owned by a Center for Adults with Disabilities. We're employing 32 people here. It's not just employing, they're making a significant contribution to the nutritional life, the food life, the health of the communities around us. To take that and then leverage that up and grow that opportunity, make some real economic impact, show the world, document it, get the numbers, so then we can have one of these facilities right now. This year we're going to go to 3 of these facilities in a network. They're breaking ground on another one here in the state. We've got a beautiful facility near us. They've shared work in the past, but this is an opportunity, an entirely new kind of product line, food, to collaborate among facilities, especially in rural communities, especially to create platforms that support people with disabilities or other kinds of community development opportunities. And they don't just have to be in these rural regions. I see this network growing out across the United States with small food processing facilities. Doesn't have to compete with the majors, but there's a big piece below them that no one is serving now. So we can put these not only in rural communities, but we can put them in urban communities. I have a good friend, Robert Egger, who runs one in downtown Washington, D.C., called D.C. Central Kitchen. They're taking folks who are coming out of the prison systems and doing training for those folks on how to get work in food services. It's been very, very successful. So I think there's a lot of these community-based facilities that we can come at as an economic developers and integrate them into the system, integrate our local farms. So you bring these tools into these communities, and it's advanced manufacturing. It's truly advanced manufacturing. Now you can take food products and make them shelf-stable year-round, for sale year-round, and that they can make new food products out of and be innovative. We've got our food young people, our new food entrepreneurs coming into the system, tie them up with our local farms. Now you're really making some magic happen. The fact that we're doing these and supporting and developing community-based facilities makes it all the more exciting. We've started probably 15 or 20 brand new businesses since the beginning of the year here. It's also exciting that existing companies can come to us and say, we need development of our new products so we can help them innovate. What we're doing here, many people refer to it as economic gardening. You take existing firms and help them get to the next level. This is a perfect platform for that. You don't have to make the investment to get to the next level. You can use the tools. It's a community access facility. Use those tools, use the staff that's here, professionals that are here to take your startup idea or your existing small business up to the next level. I think that that's going to have a significant impact. We tie those into our local farms. Now you've really got some circular movement of that money that's staying within these communities. I think we do that community by community, region by region, and keep that network knit together, talking together, collaborating. Now I think there's a way to make some real economic difference, real value in terms of jobs, in terms of money, in terms of people's lives across big regions. For the Innovation Kitchen itself, I would really like to see full employment for all of our adults with disabilities. That's a goal. This is owned by the Hodan Center. I would really like them to fulfill that goal. Those good folks come here, and when you talk to them, this isn't just a job, this is their community. And they're here to make a contribution back into the communities they live in. So I want to see that happen. As an economic developer and a startup guy, we can turn this into a model that can be recreated thousands of times over and over and over. If we make enough mistakes, if we make enough progress without sinking the ship, but continuing to put this one foot in front of another. That's what I want to see 5 years from now. I want to see brand new innovation. I want to see new food products. I don't want that to be the first year of this and then we just create a factory out of it. I want to see this as a font, a place, a platform for innovation, new product development, new food innovations. And I want that to accelerate. 5 years from now, I don't want that to be slowing down. I want it to be getting faster and faster. 5 years from now, I'd like to see 50 of these facilities working together in a collaborative way. And that can be a big geography. Where that ends up, don't know. But where it could end up is perhaps a big upper Midwest region that's maybe working collaboratively with folks in the South and the West and the Appalachians. Who knows where the natural geography is? Some of us is going to be shipping logistics that come out of this. But that's what we can use a facility like this for, is to learn and find out what works without betting the farm. We can go out and make those new connections happen, link those new dots together, have everybody grow it one step at a time, so that 5 years from now, what I really want to see is that we're all leaning into the opportunity. We're not looking back and saying, boy, that was a great opportunity, what's next? Is that we're taking this opportunity that's been given to us and developing in a way that it's just blossoming all over 5 years from now and 10 years from now and still surprising people. That's what I'd love to see 5 years from now.
Well, my hope and my vision for the kitchen is that it becomes just a model for other successes. We believe that the success is just growing for our kitchen at this point, but if it can help persons with disabilities in our area, there's no reason it can't be duplicated anywhere in the United States and make more opportunities for the people that want to work, that have the abilities, and want to be part of the workforce in America.